Hi guys, welcome to the BookBucks channel. My name is Booktuber, and after the overwhelming response on my last video, I've decided to keep doing this. Today we're going to be reviewing The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Now this book is literally proverbial clickbait when you see it in bookstores, especially in Pakistan. It's sort of taken everyone by storm, everyone's after it. So we're going to be talking about that. Now, if you're a hardcore literary enthusiast, you're not really going to be impressed with this book, but maybe you'll sort of get into the peer pressure and buy it like I did. So I'm just going to give you my take on this book. Of course, it's not the last opinion in the world, and it's definitely not the popular opinion because everyone's loving it. So now, I have read a lot of self-help books in my life, but I do prefer the classics. I prefer, Who Moved My Cheese and Jordan B. Peterson and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And I will get back to that, but in one sentence, if I were to summarize The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, it's more like, everything is the opposite. Obviously, it's counterintuitive. Try less, accept some hard truths, don't try to be perfect, don't try to live up to society's expectation, manage your values, and choose what you give an F about is a very popular line. And the one line that I like from this book, I do have it, and I've sort of marked out my favorite bits, sort of highlighted them. And the one that I do like is, you have a limited number of Fs to give in this world, so you must choose carefully what the Fs you give Fs about. Deep is what it is. So yeah, starting off with the first reason why I don't like it. Firstly, obviously it's too millennial. Mark Manson is a star blogger, so he knows all the trends, he knows what sells. So you've got obviously all your slangs and your Instagram kind of thingamajigs, and obviously it's the whole thing is catered to millennials. It's catered to people that want self-help, but they don't maybe want to do the hard work and read actual really good books, I assume, because I know a lot of people who aren't readers but do like this book. So obviously it's too millennial for my taste, and the word F is not a substitute for a good vocabulary. This guy's no writer. You'll find that I was able to get about approximately 2 chapters in before I realized that the whole thing was just really repetitive, and it sort of starts wearing you out. And obviously I read it till the end, but it was taxing, even though this is supposed to be an easy read, and it is an easy read. But if you've read better source material, which I will get to in a minute, it's really going to take the air out of you. You're not really going to like it after a while. So that did happen with me. Now, in the self-help genre, if you're really into that, I would recommend something which maybe isn't overtly self-help, like something like maybe Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, which obviously is based on a lot of substantial research and a lot of famous personalities, and he's really done the work here. And he's got another good one that I like. Someone borrowed my copy and never returned it. That happens a lot with me. David and Goliath, it's I think The Story of Misfits, something like that. And obviously you can't ever overlook Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. He's got a bunch of them in different things, for public speaking, for confidence, for making friends. I used to read this a lot as a 14-year-old, and I still remember almost every principle in this book. So it's a really good one. And if you're looking for a more sardonic style, which Mark Manson seems to have, he seems to sort of get there, but obviously he doesn't have quite the guts for it, I feel, and he doesn't have enough knowledge of it, although he's tried to put in interesting snippets. But a lot of the things which I found in this book, such as he makes up Disappointment Panda and Peel Yourself Onion. No, wait, it's Self-Awareness Onion. I mean, these are fillers, really. I mean, I read that entire section and I was like, what is this? I mean, this guy's trying to be clever and insightful, and he is in some parts very clever, but it just falls flats for me. It doesn't do the trick. And so yeah, if you're a fan of sort of that sardonic style, I would recommend The Conquest of Happiness by Bertrand Russell. He was, one of the great thinkers of the 20th century, one of the great philosophers, and he spoke about everything that society didn't want him to talk about, including public opinion and sin and unhappiness and sort of all those kind of individualistic sorrows. And so he but obviously he's ions above this guy, he's great. But I hope I was able to maybe give you a bit of insight. Maybe the next time you see this on a bookstore sort of main displays where they put it, if you see it there, maybe you won't be so quick to pick it up. Because I know that there's another book that he's come out with, because this one came out in 2016, so he's come out with a more recent, I don't know if it's a sequel to this. I don't think it is. I think it's a separate book. It's just a book about hope. Everything is effed. So I'm not making any assumptions about that one. I will buy it and I will, you know, read it thoroughly and make my own opinion about it. So obviously I'm not attaching that to this book. But this book, it's great if you want to maybe, I don't know, frame the front cover and put it, you know, in your gaming setup. I don't know, but as a read, it falls short of things that other people have just done better. So I hope that was helpful. I'll catch you next time. And if you like this sort of content and you'd like to see me, you know, keep coming up with it, do consider subscribing. So thanks, guys.